down in a little bit. It's my Word doc. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do this.
Start now.
Yeah.
Please state your first and last name and the position you're applying for.
My name is Brian Carter, and I'm applying for the position of second shift assembly worker.
Tell me a little bit about yourself and how your past experience relate to the job you're applying for.
Well, I'm a very fast learner, very functional in a fast-paced team environment. In my experience at Subway during lunch rush and my experience at Polaris working on their assembly line teach me how to operate in environments like these. It requires you to be alert, well-rested, well-fed, as well as always open to advice from others on how to improve. These type of work environments can seem overwhelming at first, but if you just put your head down and start working and make sure to listen to your superiors, you'll master it in no time.
Describe a difficult work-related situation and how you overcame it.
A work-related situation I recently had to face was with my coworker who works directly on my station with me. He had decided to stop coming into work. My job at Polaris, if you miss work or are late more than twice, you lose your job, as they are very punctual and expect commitment from their workers. When you are on an assembly line, being just one person short can mean the difference between having an effective and productive day or the complete opposite of that. This meant I had to work 2 stations by myself for multiple shifts before management found someone to fill in for him. I overcame this by not complaining and instead deciding to get to work and discover ways I could execute both stations at the same time, while also making sure I wasn't taking actions that would further waste time. By the end of that first shift by myself, I was able to execute both stations simultaneously while still completing them in just under 3 minutes, with the goal time per unit set by management being 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I used downtime to prepare materials needed for each station. I moved around supplies to make access to them easier, and I also started integrating the steps of each station into one another to increase my production speed greatly.
Do you have any questions about this job?
You skipped one.
Give an example of a successful project you're part of. What was your role?
One successful project I've been a part of recently was one that occurred at work. Management decided they wanted to increase our daily goal production count from 100 to 115. This meant we had to construct 15 more units during the same amount of time we would spend building 100, which would already go far beyond 8 hours per shift. This was quite the task for us, as the amount seemed unreasonable at first, given the amount of time we had. But the role they gave for me was to analyze each of the stations and decide the best way to optimize each with the given tools and manpower so as to increase productivity while not overworking any given individual. After some talks directly with each station's operators, gathering their ideas and incorporating my own, we have no issue meeting this daily requirement. We moved around some individuals into stations they were much more suited to. We moved some people from stations that had more than enough manpower to the ones that were lacking. And we actually ended up dissolving one station and separating its steps into surrounding ones, and the operator left over was available to assist on one of the more complex stations.
Do you have any questions about this job?
I suppose I do have a couple questions. My most important question would be pertaining to workplace safety and injury. What kind of on-site options do you have in the event of a medical emergency? My experience working in assembly so far has proven that accidents happen way more often than you would think. And what kind of opportunities are given to employees to potentially move up in the company? Do you guys hire from outside or from within? And what kind of actions do management take to listen to the ideas of employees that could possibly increase productivity or efficiency in the workplace? Fuck that.